What's going on YouTube? Chugging in life here. One more time, girls. Got it, girls and girls and girls. Yeah. Look here, guys. Look here. See that? See that? Box on the pen, man. Box is on the pen. We gotta knock it down. Look at that. Somebody lost some oil. We gotta knock it down, guys. Like I said, people do things at your own risk. Like I say, TIL told you to do Nathan, baby. I'm gonna get to the point of the video, man. Some struggles that I had been since I became owner operator, guys. Make sure you push this up before you do it. Always make sure that level pushed up. If not, it'll bend in. So I'll push this up right here. So that when I start hitting it, I'm gonna keep a look and make sure this bend don't fall back down to the locking pin so that it won't mess this up. Here we go. You know what, guys, it's the first time for everything. First time the pin popped down and got stuck in there. Look, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. See the pin? First time for everything, guys. I don't know what's going on with that. I gotta get an adjustment. Hopefully Mr. Crane do it available. If you're not, I'm about to fix something now. Anyway, I gotta finish the video so well, guys. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, I got it fixed. I didn't get to the point of the video, guys. Drop my headphones, trying to run to get the adjustment down, running like. Anyway. Some struggles I had being on operator, guys. I'm gonna have a couple stories on here. I don't get too detailed, I gotta get up the road. If you wanna be an owner operator, you may or may not deal with this, but these are my struggles that I had since I've been on operator. And I'm gonna share, I know some guys kind of relate to stories a little bit more than kind of like just other stuff. Well, I mean, one time I was running out of state, and it was super cold. It was dead winter. I never forget this. It had to be a leak with the wind chill like -10 outside. And so I left. You know, in the wintertime, the sun go down a lot sooner than the summertime. So the sun, when I went down, it was broad daylight. And I didn't think I didn't think about the light situation because I knew my pigtail had like some problems, but I didn't think that it'd be like to the crazy part, to the point where it was on my way back. So anyway, I go out and on my way back, I could see the sun going down. I said I got about an hour time, maybe 2 hours before the sun go down, before I have to use my lights. And I checked the lights at the customer, the lights work, but on my pigtail, from doing container so long, you turn corners with the with a longer pigtail. My pigtail on my truck was like kind of long, so I had it up, but it still was dragging. So over time, when you turn the corners with a container, it started pinching the line a little bit. So anyway, it pinched the line a little bit, well, a lot of bit, because it started getting a little corrosion in the line. I could see it, but the lights will work. But I already don't need the lights out, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I thought I could make it, but I didn't. So anyway, I get down there and I check my lights before I leave, just in case I might need them. I won't have to dance with them. But anyway, on my way back, I caused some traffic, more traffic than I expected. But I knew I wasn't gonna make it, but I thought I could get a little closer to the city if I had to hit my lights. So if I do mess with them, at least I'm closer to the city. It ain't gonna bother me too much, closer to the city. But where I was at, yeah, they were sitting out there waiting on you to come through slacking. So I hook up to my trailer, whatever, lights working. I'm driving back, and I turn my lights on to see how long they'll hold before they start dancing. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but in my mirrors, I like kind of move a little bit like this, like an S, like, cause I was on the open field, open farmland or whatever. It's open field, so you can swerve without worrying about hitting cars. So I'm swerving so I can see the lights. Every time I turn, the lights is jumping. They're coming on, coming off, coming on, coming off, right? And I already knew what it was. I said, I ain't gonna make it. So anyway, I Googled a Blaine's Farm and Fleet, right? So I was like, yeah, I got to try to at least try to be able to patch this up before I get back to the city. So now imagine, it's freaking freezing outside. I say either I pull over right here or I try to pull somewhere where it ain't a Blaine's Farm and Fleet, and now I'm stuck with nothing. Cause the reason I had to go to a Blaine's Farm and Fleet was, first of all, I had a parking lot to pull into that could fit my tractor trailer. And secondly, they had the connectors, the electrical connectors that I needed So I had to rewire the thing because it was just, the corrosion had got so bad. I went back there and started messing with it, and it like just fell apart, like just fell down like this. So the little lights I did have, when I got in the parking lot, messing with it, so I was still not wanting to mess with it. I pulled into Blaine's Farming Fleet. I messed with it a little bit to kind of like, I tried to like zip tie it down so it didn't move as much, so hopefully the lights stay on. But when I went to move it, when I went to like the part that was like kind of like torn into, it's like crumbling, and then my lights went out. I said, man, I got problems, man. I got some problems right now. The little lights I did have, I ain't got that no more because the wires that connected crumbled. So in case, I gotta pause for a moment here, guys. Somebody might say, well, it's only a pigtail. Why you ain't just change the pigtail? You know what, that's a fabulous question. Why don't you ask the manufacturer who made this freaking truck? Whoever designed this truck, they hardwired my pigtail into the wire harness of my truck. So it's all one long cord. Yeah, what sense do that make, right? Of course, since then, I got tired of messing with that pigtail, so I made my own connector. I bought a 710 plug. I made the connector myself. I hooked it up, and now I could change my pigtails out myself. But at that moment in time, I didn't have it. It was all hardwired into the truck. So I had to cut the wires at the Farm and Blaine Fleet. I had to make sure that I was matching the colors up. Now, mind you, it's getting dark on me. By the time I was in that Blaine's Farm and Fleet for so long, it got dark. So now this gotta work with this gotta work. Well, I gotta spend the night here till the morning and rather during the daytime, which wasn't an option for me. But anyway, it's super cold outside. So now trying to do some work on anything in cold, everything is like twice as hard. I give it 2 to 5 minutes out there in negative 10 degrees weather, your hands like this. You can see your hand, but you can't feel it. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. But I ain't got no choice. Now it's dark. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wasn't gonna make it back though. I'd rather me pull over voluntarily than me to pull over involuntarily. You know what I mean? And leave with some fines and some out of services and all that type of stuff. So I had the choice to do it. So I pull over and I'm out there. It took me to rewire that whole thing, it took me about a good about hour to rewire because I had to keep stopping, running the truck, warm up, blow my hands. Had to before I went back into the truck to warm my hands, I had to look and see which next wires will get first. Had to strip it, connect it together, butt it, run back in the truck, warm my hands. That's how freaking cold it was. And so I got them kind of together, but it wasn't together. What I mean was I got the connectors to connect, but they was kind of like, I got cold. I ain't gonna lie, I got cold. So I just wanted to make sure the main lights worked. Some stuff wasn't working too good, but those my main lights, my running lights was working. That's all I really cared about. But anyway, so they was working. But anyway, so I had everything hooked up, but it wasn't hooked up right. So I tried to tape it all together with some duct tape, and I ran out of duct tape. When I tell you my cord looked like a snake that ate a rabbit, it was all thin like this. It was thin like this. Then it got real big. Then it got back thin. Guys, when I tell you the struggle, boy, was real that day, I made it back. Now imagine, I'm fighting a DOT clock. My hours is running low. I came in kind of dirty that day, I ain't gonna lie, because I had to get that done. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping on the road was not a thing for me. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, that's one struggle out here trying to fight and fix stuff on the side of the road when you cold. Don't get me wrong, I was in a parking lot, but still so freaking cold, and it's on you. You want to call somebody and say, hey, Big Bird, y'all light ain't working on this. What you gonna do? You call a number, you answer the phone. Yeah, that's me. What's going on? The lights ain't working. So what we gonna do about it? What you mean we? Because we are we. You are me and I'm you, baby. Because you're red. Anyway, another struggle I had, guys, I ain't make the video too long, was when I first got this truck, I didn't know how the winters work with keeping your truck running. And at that time, I wasn't making much money as an owner operator, so I couldn't afford to keep my truck running anyway if I wanted to. Because I did that for like a week when it first got cold, when I first got this truck. I burned more in fuel than I made for the 2 weeks I was out. I ended up owing money. You wonder how you could do that? Get a fuel card and find out. But anyway, so I said, this ain't gonna work. I can't keep running my truck and not making no money at all. And so what I was doing was, now somebody's situation may be different. Mine is this. This was my struggle. For like the first 5 winters of me having this truck, in the wintertime, I got like very small, limited sleep. And I'm gonna tell you why. In the wintertime, in case you guys don't know, you don't know about trucks, diesel, These engines are hard to start in a super cold weather. If they sit long enough, they ain't gonna start. Ask me how I know, and I'll tell you the same, baby. I'll tell you the same. So, first 5 years, I'm struggling. I used to dread seeing winters come. Not because of the cold per se, it's keeping my truck running. Because I didn't know no better, so this is what I did. Now, somebody else may have a different story. This is my struggle that I had. What I used to do is, I used to watch the weather and see how cold it's gonna be outside. And I would go, if it was like a certain temperature, I'd go 6 hours. If it was a certain temperature, I'd go every 7 hours. If it was a certain temperature, I'd go every 5 hours. So I would get up, go every 5 hours to the truck, start it up, let it run till my temperature got about 150 to 180 degrees. It gotta get that high, because if it don't get that high, I gotta come out a little earlier next time because it'll freeze up a lot quicker. Trust me, years of practice, baby. But anyway, so I did that, and I started doing that so much, I started getting so sleepy. I was getting so sleepy, I'd go start the truck up sometimes in the middle of the night, and I'll fall asleep in my car and have to sit there, because by the time I wake up, it's time for me to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here, you know? I'm already at the truck. I just fell asleep, I was so tired. For the people in the back, in case you guys wondering, well, why you ain't just plug your truck up? Well, first of all, 2 problems here. One problem was the plug, while I parked that, they didn't have one, so you had to get out how you live in a lot. And 2, secondly, my truck came from the south, came from southern states. They don't need plugs in southern states. So my truck don't have a block heat on there. Now, some may say, you could have put it on there. Yeah, you could have, but I didn't know at the time. I'm talking about back then when I first started, I didn't know how to do it. People looking for the plug, like, where your plug at? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. They like, hey, you ain't got one. The spot for the plug's supposed to be there is there, but it ain't there. But anyway, I digress. So my struggle was trying to losing sleep, keeping this truck running in the wintertime, not being able to move around in the wintertime because I couldn't let the truck sit long enough because I had to make sure it was running. So in case I did work, and when I did work, little money, all money, the money I was making had to count. So in order to make that money, I had to let the truck run. Now, was it always successful? No, it was sometimes epic failures. And when it failed, I couldn't do nothing but throw my hands and wait for the next warm day to come. And sometimes that warm day may not come for like another week or so for a warm day to come. Then you gotta hope you get your truck started. One story real quick, guys. I remember one time this guy was parking in the lot with me, and I told him, I said, hey, you know you gotta keep that truck running. It ain't gonna start. He was new to being an operator. He didn't listen. I guess he thought I don't know what he thought, but he didn't come and start it up. His truck sat there. And then one day I was on my truck warming it up. And I guess he decided he was gonna go to work. And his truck sat for a day and a half in a brutal cold. Well, needless to say, he didn't see any work that day. Matter of fact, he spent the next day, he was working on his truck from about 2 that morning in the dark to about the next night. He finally got his truck running. It took him almost a whole day to get his truck going. And he had to do some things. A lot of grills was burning that day. A lot of cardboard, a lot of things I ain't gonna name on here was going on that day for him to get going. So the struggles of being an owner-operator, these are my struggles, guys. Trying to get stuff fixed on the side of the road myself. And also too, you know, keeping the truck running, trying to keep it running in the wintertime. Guys who live in the southern states ain't gotta worry about this. But us up here in the Midwest and North area, it get brutally cold. And your truck ain't running or you ain't keeping it kind of nice and warm, you got problems. And also too, if you're stopping by, guys, for the first time, hit that subscribe button while you're on here. Why not? You stopping by, hit that button. And also too, the boy off a one-on-one coach at the moment. If you're a company driver, you're trying to find your way in the trucking game, you indecisive about how you want to go about it, the boy can help. And if you're an operator, the same thing. You want to grow, or you want to figure out how you navigate this whole owner-operator world, or you want to grow in other ways besides the owner-operator world, using owner-operator to do it, holler at your boy, off a one-on-one coach right now. info@truckingthelife.com. Serious inquiries only. If you ain't serious, don't even email me because I don't want to waste each other's time. But anyway, YouTube, hope this video is helpful. Give you a little understanding of what's going on here. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.